Hey guys, what time is it? Netflix news? No, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's the most
Wonderful time of the
Come on, let's do
year.
this.
See, what did I tell you? It's not
guys are
Netflix
in
news
there.
time.
kids jingle belling and
They're
We're all on the same skating nights, right?
they're all extra right now.
Everybody's having a great time.
I'm like
That's
wheeling
true.
around.
I'm trying
Alright.
to pace, but I don't want to move my chair. It's like good work was done into framing us up,
Yes,
so
I
I'm
know.
trying to
Yes,
stay
oh, sorry.
framed up.
Sorry.
All
We're
right,
back
all
in
right.
our spots.
All right, hey guys, you are watching Netflix news on AfterBuzz TV. Rick Hong, you can find me on all social media at Rick Hong, RCKHONG. And on the other side, we've got.
We are changing things up today. Hi everyone, I'm Amy Cassandra, and you guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra TV. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm Steve Kauffman. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kauffman. That is KAUFMANN. I'm also so excited to be here. Yeah, I was just at a football game. If you follow me on at Steve Kauffman, that's pretty much the top 50 tweets. Than that, I was screaming my head off at the Coliseum.
Dude, I couldn't tell by your Eagles jersey. Nope. And to the left of me.
Hey, it's my turn. Hi, guys. It's Ashley. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited that Christmas music is playing. This is my season. I can't wait. Personally, my Yule log on Netflix, which is streaming all the time now. A little fireplace with Christmas music. That's what I'm watching on Netflix. Let's talk about it.
Well, and where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram and the Twitter and the internet at Ashley on Camera. There might be some Yule log pictures. I don't know. Check me out there.
Cool. All right.
You're on the internet.
The internet.
Well, as you guys know, there's a theme here. There's a lot of stuff that's dropping on Netflix. That's Christmas. This is probably the best time of the month to talk about all the different types of content that are Christmas related. And I wanted to say thank you to Trina Christensen for being here last week. We talked a
was
lot
awesome.
about she was
She's
great.
so nice.
We talked a lot about Godless, so that's why and I think this is our only week where we actually have the four of us, because we'll be here next week, and then the weeks after that are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, so we won't be taping then, and then we'll see you guys in the new year. So that's why we're going to talk about some Christmas stuff, and I think a lot of you guys have watched some stuff this week.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Do tell. Do tell.
Now? We're doing this?
It's happening now, live on the air. Amy, go.
Okay. All right, wait, Ashley, so you said that
Yes.
you've seen which Christmas movie we were talking about?
Which Christmas movie have I seen on Netflix?
Hey, there's a lot.
Let me. No, what did I
Wow,
watch?
really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's full.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not joking about the Yule log. That thing is burning all the time. It warms up my heart and my soul.
So you have it on your TV screen, and you have it
I do.
set to that.
And you know
it
what
does
else I
the-
do? And then I light a candle beside it so that it kind of actually feels like real flames. Next level.
smart.
Next level. The Christmas movie that I watched, I think that you're referring to
Yeah.
was A Christmas Kiss #2, not the sequel. So it's good enough for 2 films.
Not to be
guys.
confused with the Christmas Prince.
Oh, The Christmas Prince is a
which-
different film altogether,
Prince,
which I
which
also
sounds
watched.
like Kiss, which had a 1 and a 2.
No, and the thing about Christmas Prince is that thing is like posted everywhere. It's like you log in and it's boom, Christmas Prince. It's like suggestions, Christmas Prince.
You cannot pair together 2 of my bigger fantasies, marrying a prince and having it happen on Christmas. Like, you just put them together and there we go. It's
See,
joy. It's
well-
Text Meghan Markle. She can literally live your dream.
Oh my gosh.
I'm happy for her with seething jealousy. I'm happy for her.
Maybe, but you know what? Maybe you could take her spot on Suits.
Oh, I like
If
the
you can't
way
take her,
you
if you
think.
if you can't take her spot in real life, then maybe you can take her spot on Suits.
Okay, fair enough.
Window
fair
and a
enough.
door.
Good point.
That's right. That's right.
But so you saw A Christmas Kiss, the original, which I haven't seen.
So I saw a lot of movies that after a while I was like, what is going on? Like, I started twitching a little bit because it's a lot. I love me some rom-coms, but dang, it was a lot of research just for you guys. So, okay, A Christmas Kiss.
Yep.
I saw that one, the first one, yeah. It was nice. That's all. If you want to watch a good rom-com movie that's like not the top notch, but you want a second notch, that's still not it. Christmas Kisses. Down here, I did not like it that much. Angel in the House, it feels different. I only made it through the first 30 minutes. But you guys might like it. It's really sweet. The actor in it, he's a little kid. He's great. I'm not gonna say anything more about that one. A Holiday Engagement was interesting. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a holiday
Don't
engagement.
spoil it. I haven't seen it yet.
A holiday
it's on my
engagement.
list.
Well, here's my
Somebody
question.
probably proposes to somebody else
Did you
Not
during a
exactly.
holiday.
Not
Did you pay
exactly.
attention?
Really?
Did you pay attention to the thumbs up, thumbs down, or like the ratings of the stars
ratings,
to see
yeah.
did it fit you or no?
Here's the thing. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I love like really, really good rom-coms. And not all rom-coms are created equal.
True.
And so for some of them, they said I was like 98% match. And I was like, okay. Because I'm pretty sure if it was, I would have known about it. So I was kind of offended that it thought that I would like them that much, because I'm like, no, it's not that good. It's a different kind of movie that you just put on while you're cleaning or something. You know, not one that you'd actually want to stay and watch like You've Got Mail or While You Were Sleeping or When Harry Met Sally. You know what I mean?
That's all Christmas movies. They're just background for Christmas
No,
cooking.
not Elf.
So you're offended in the sense of just like when someone's like, I got someone to set you up with, and you go and you're just like, why would you ever think that
here's my
that type of
standard.
So little of this, and I would like this film.
But here's the thing: a holiday engagement wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was certainly better than the other two that I've talked about. 12 Dates of Christmas is with Amy Smart and Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Seen it.
So what did you think of? I mean, that one was pretty good. After a while, it's just
Great, classic.
It's like Groundhog's Day. So if you like the idea of reliving something over and over again, but obviously different twists and turns, that was one that I'd be like, okay, yeah, like you can watch it. So I recommend it to you guys and everyone listening. 12 Dates of Christmas is actually pretty good. This next one I highly recommend out of all of the ones that I've talked about so far. Christmas Crush. That one is good. It's good. The actors are very charismatic and it's sweet. And it's about going back to your high school reunion. And
Okay.
so it's
Christmas
really nice.
Crush.
That one I do recommend.
Happening today.
Oh, so that'd be like you like your high school reunion would be like 20 years from now, right?
This is
Right, because I'm a baby.
exactly.
This next one, which is what you were talking about, A Christmas Prince, was I liked it. It wasn't amazing, but it was actually really nice. And I don't know if you guys saw, there was an article about it on BuzzFeed. And people were talking about it because it's a lot of different things. And some people were saying, oh, it's like A Prince and Me.
but at Christmas.
But in Christmas, yeah. So it's really sweet. I really did like that one. And then the last one, My Santa. It was all right. It's Santa's son. So it's not one that you should really worry about watching. But definitely, a Christmas Crush. Definitely recommended on Netflix. And 12 Dates of Christmas, yeah, and A Holiday Engagement. But if you really want to watch a really good Christmassy rom-com while you were sleeping, like I said.
I was going to say that. Why haven't you mentioned
because
watched it yesterday.
So good. Like, I wait until later into December.
Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman, right?
Yes. God, it's so good. I wait until later into December to watch the really, really, really good rom-coms because I'm like, no, this is not worth watching earlier in the month when it's so far away from Christmas. But now that it's so much closer, it's worth it. Now, there's two movies that if you just are tired of Christmas for a little bit, you can watch these. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2.
What? Yeah.
I was so excited to see it there, and I've talked about this before. It's a rom-com, Playing It Cool. So underrated. People have not talked about it enough.
Playing It Cool.
Who's in Playing It Cool?
Chris Evans and Michelle Monaghan. Michelle Monaghan was in Maid of Honor with Patrick Dempsey.
She's also Tom Brady's first wife, right? Or is that Bridget?
That's Bridget
Oh,
Moynihan.
dang it.
That's Bridget Moynihan. Not to be
Moynihan.
confused with Michelle Monaghan.
Oh, just kidding,
Who was
everybody.
actually Tom Cruise's wife in the Mission Impossible series.
I will check
Sorry,
that. I will
TMZ.
check this one out.
Sorry. False information.
But see, Playing It Cool, they played it so cool. Like, it's seriously, watch it even.
But that's not a Christmas movie, right?
It's not, but I watched The Proposal the other day because I really wanted to watch a good rom-com after watching
get
so
some
many
taste
that
out of
weren't so good. Yeah, so it's okay to put a little breather in there of like, oh, I want to watch this, and then get back to your holiday, or your scheduled holiday programming.
I only have one Christmas prediction this week, and it is Jingle All the Way.
Oh yeah.
Is it
Isn't
out already? When does that come out?
No, but that's one with Schwarzenegger, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, okay.
When does it
What
come
is-
out?
what is the-
Schwarzenegger-
What's the?
I think it's
the
out.
thing?
Is it out right now?
I think it was in our
Boy.
description last week that it's coming out.
This week?
That it's coming. I think it's come out.
Stand by, folks. We are looking
No,
it up.
I'm
This
buying
is
it, I'm buying
important
it.
information.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure Jingle All the
Jingle
Way
All
came
the
out
Way.
in like a single-digit December day, so it's out by now.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I didn't see it on my
Like the
queue,
6th.
Let me
but I'm
see.
excited about it.
Keep
I
going.
will tell you.
You tell me, and I'll look it up.
Okay, in the meantime, I want to ask you guys whether or not you think this is a Christmas movie, and I'm curious to see what you'll say because I watched it today before I got here, and in my head, it's one of those movies that I always associate with Christmas time, maybe because it's cold, but everybody, 8 Mile. 8 Mile! Yes, there's Christmas all throughout the film. It's Christmas time. There's Christmas lights up.
That's
It's
a-
like
I think there's enough.
There's
You would've
snow.
seen it.
I think there's enough actual Christmas music.
Steve in the booth, you got the song? Dun 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 dun. The Eminem song you got for us?
Oh, I love
Let's
this
hear it. Here it
song.
goes, everybody. This is what I break my neck to on the treadmill. Like this
Shut
is
your mouth.
I white girl jam out to 8 Mile, lose
Why?
yourself.
No.
So hard.
Hold the phone.
To answer your
We've not
question, I
talked
don't
about
think this is
before.
I do not think
No,
it
it's not a
qualifies
Christmas,
as a Christmas
no,
movie.
no.
Absolutely,
Die
there are
Hard
Christmas
qualifies
lights.
as a Christmas movie.
Die
Die Hard
Hard.
2
I call this
qualifies as a Christmas movie.
the Die Hard
Dun,
level.
dun.
You need.
Here we go.
If you get to call Die Hard, I get to call 8 Mile.
No.
Yep,
there's a
listen
train
to the
coming.
train tracks. You can hear the winter. You can hear the winter. It's happening.
It's a winter movie. It's the
Here we go.
baby. It's cold outside.
This is me on the treadmill. I'm hitting the level up button. I'm like, go faster. This is where I'm like putting it faster. This isn't the right song, but
That's all right.
But this
That's
is about the
good.
time I
We're
started
good.
jamming out.
We're good.
Yeah.
Dude, why have we never talked about that
Well,
before?
we're talking about it
Because
right now.
We should exercise.
Clearly, two-fourths of this panel is the 8 Mile Appreciation Club.
Yes.
It's
2/4, otherwise known as 2/4. 1/2.
2/4.
Steve, Jingle All the Way is not on Netflix yet. I'm gonna look into
Yeah,
that.
What
one.
day is it?
It probably will drop. It probably will drop. I'll look into it. But
Guys, I'm not crazy. Jingle All the Way.
Says the guy wearing an Eagles jersey.
What are the Eagles' record right now?
I don't know. What town are they? I'm just kidding. I don't know.
The
Philadelphia?
Yes.
You see, I know about football and things.
Who's the best team in football currently?
The Patriots.
yeah, who just
Giants.
lost their
the,
quarterback.
the
Not the Giants.
the Steelers. I don't know.
It's the Eagles.
Go
Steelers are still playing.
Okay.
Patriots play tomorrow.
Wow.
So as of this moment, the Eagles
Please
are
don't
the best team
eviscerate me in the
football.
comments, you guys. This is about Netflix news, not football. So take that elsewhere. Thanks. No time for that crap. It's Christmas.
Also, while we're in a quick hole, someone over a year ago made one of the funniest comments when describing me to another person, which was somebody was asking like, who's Steve? How do I find him? And their exact description of me was, yeah, he's about 6 feet tall. He looks like a young Santa.
Oh my God! Why have we not capitalized on this?
That's what
also,
I'm saying. Like, I have ever since that comment
my
wanted
God.
to write a pilot called Young Santa,
young
where
Santa.
he's just Santa Claus without a gray beard, like trying to make it in the world.
Okay,
I'll
we're gonna
never look at you the same
Coming,
way.
to,
can't
coming to
forget.
Netflix, everyone, Young Santa.
Young Santa, but you can still wear the hat, and like
Yeah.
we can still get you some jammies, and we can do this.
Steve, I think you got your platforms incorrect, sir. I do not see it on here. However, what I do see is Disney's The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. 1, 2, and 3. And I swear, I definitely know that I've seen 1. I'm pretty sure that I've seen 2. I don't think that I've ever seen 3, so I probably will pop it in for this holiday season to watch. I'm imagining, since it's the 3rd one, it probably won't be as good, but I'm going to ask my panel.
Sometimes it goes 1 is good, 2 is bad, 3 is good again. So you don't know. 2 is okay.
Sometimes it does do that. I would argue 2 was not bad.
Okay, so then 3 is gonna maybe not.
Also-
You guys haven't seen the third one.
I haven't seen
I'm
the 3rd.
unfamiliar with the 3rd one. I'm sure
I've seen the third one.
I'm sure I've been
Was it
through the
good?
3rd one. I'm
That
judging-
face
I'm
says it
judging-
all.
Yeah, that face kind of says what's up with the 3rd
I
one.
mean, watch it just because
Yeah, I will.
of the franchise kind of a thing, but or not franchise, but
yeah.
yeah, okay.
But-
yeah, but the first one's the best. Second one's not as good, and then it kind of just goes from there. But it's worth watching if you want to just
Also,
Chill.
Santa Claus is spelled one way. The Santa Claus in these movies is spelled a different
Yeah,
way.
that's why I said
It's
Santa
the-
Claus.
It's the legal clause.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how many people I've had this conversation with that think you spell clause that way.
Why do you have dumb friends? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. We love you all.
That's a good question.
We love you all.
That is, But see,
No, you're,
those
assu- no,
same
you're,
people-
you're assuming those friends are actually watching. That's what you're assuming. The
difference is-
they're gonna watch me. Watch me, but not Steve.
Yeah.
Those are the people that you have to explain the difference between THEY
Oh,
apostrophe RE and THEIR.
Sure. These are
We'll also
actually
put that in
really-
the description box. Don't worry.
yeah.
There's a whole video about that.
Well, Santa Claus, the first one,
Is amazing.
It's
So
one
good.
of my favorite Christmas
It's a great-
movies.
it's a classic.
It's like one of those that you watch every single.
It makes me want hot chocolate every time I watch it because of that little tiny little elf girl that makes the hot chocolate. That's like
gosh.
her 100-year-old recipe. Like I'm craving it right now. Like right now, thinking about
See,
it.
it makes me think of so I used to watch that movie obviously when I was a kid. So it makes me think of being a kid and just living in Texas and all of that. And then also
Oh yeah, because when I think of Texas, I think of snow. And I mean, like, you know,
Actually, breaking news, guys, it snowed in Texas this last
like
week.
1 inch, like 1 inch.
It doesn't matter. It was snow. It stayed on the ground. It was a big deal in San Antonio and all over Texas. But
Didn't some football player post something about the snow in Texas? Some big football player.
Probably. There's been a lot of snow.
But
in
see, the
football- in
thing is
football
that
cities
if
today.
that's the case, it probably wouldn't a Dallas Cowboy or Houston Texan, and Steve roots for the
Sworn
Philadelphia
enemies, sworn
Eagles,
enemies.
so
Okay.
he wouldn't.
I
Which
feel
they are
like
their
it
sworn
was-
enemies.
He's like a good-looking guy that plays football. Maybe
Texas.
in Texas. Anybody? Is it Tebow? Does he still play?
He does not
doesn't
still
play
play.
anymore. It's a guy.
It's probably
from
J.J.
football.
Watt.
Yeah, that might be him. Yeah.
J.J. Watt.
Yeah. I think that's the one.
Although he's not playing football right now because he's injured, but that's a different story. Do you have any more that you watched that you?
Well, I told you about 8 Mile. I watched While You Were Sleeping yesterday. I watched the Yule Log is on all the time. I've pretty much hit all the Christmas movies on there except for Christmas Crush, which I didn't
worth
hit
watching.
because it said a 20-something in the description, and I was immediately annoyed. So I didn't.
she was 28 then.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not going to tell my age. I'm not. But I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like that 20-something-year-old business this weekend.
I didn't.
So
I
I
didn't,
didn't take
realize you got to that 20-something yet. So.
Oh, you swear! Guys, what a good.
Okay, well,
guy.
actually, since Ashley took it to a different place with 8 Mile for Christmas movies,
You're welcome.
there is a show that Steve Kauffman, Kaufmann, does host here at
yes.
AfterBuzz. It dropped the most recent trailer. However, there is a Christmas special, I believe, for Black Mirror.
Oh yes, the Christmas special for Black Mirror is one of my favorite Christmas specials of all time. How familiar is the panel with this? It's got John Hamm.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
it was
John
great.
Hamm.
Yes.
It's in the Christmas special. For those of you who don't know, Black Mirror was a British television show on.
BBC?
No, it was not.
Okay.
It
It's the only
was.
channel we know.
It was Channel
That's true.
4, which isn't ITV. It might be ITV. You'll let me know in the comments if I didn't get it right.
Oh, they will.
But it did better with us through
Yay.
Netflix than it actually did on British TV. So Netflix just came and bought it. This time last year, we had seen, I think it was 8 or 10 episodes. They just dropped a trailer for the 6 episodes that I was expecting to be dropped like January or February. They're actually dropping them the 29th of this month,
Merry
all 6.
Christmas to you.
including one of which that was directed by Jodie Foster.
Wait,
nice.
so Black Mirror is going to get dropped on the 29th.
On December 29th.
So we will show you that before we go off the air next week. We'll show you that trailer to kind of get you guys in the
Hopefully
mood.
there will
But-
be more of a trailer. I'll have more of a breakdown, but I will be covering it here at AfterBuzz TV, and we will be covering that show different than we cover other Netflix shows because it's an anthology series. Each episode is its own mini movie. Each episode will be getting its own after show. And it might just take us weeks. Who knows? They're dropping it on the 29th. That's not a great week for us scheduling wise, but we'll get it done.
Okay.
Someone
Yeah,
has
but
to
like,
do
yeah,
it.
but like I know that
Glad
yeah,
to
that's
see
kind
it.
of like they had a Christmas episode which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, that Christmas episode. I don't want to say too much to give it away, but that Christmas episode is by far some of the best Christmas TV I can imagine. Because Black Mirror is actually just a good episode. Like it's an hour, probably hour and a half episode.
I just don't feel like Black Mirror is going to put me in the holiday spirit.
Oh no, it's not. It's going to be an episode of Black Mirror.
About like in Christmas. In
Christmas happens in this episode of Black Mirror. If you want like a feel-good Christmas episode, it's not on Netflix, but Studio 60 had a really good Christmas episode.
Okay.
Not a great series.
Okay, that kind of feels like a farce, but I'll give it to you.
What?
It's like a sneaky Christmas movie where because it's like they're isn't that like a spooky show?
It's a very spooky show. It's
Yeah.
like the
It's like
Twilight
it's
Zone.
yeah, it's Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It's very much like The Twilight Zone, but that episode, actually, that's going to be my pick to you right now. I'll say it right now. Watch the Christmas episode of Black Mirror, and while you're at it, watch all the other Black Mirror episodes, and then watch our coverage here of AfterBuzz TV with yours truly. Breaking it down. I have a couple weird theories that all the episodes are interconnected in one timeline, similar to the Pixar theory, and it's not the timeline you think it is. I'll probably tweet that time code.
I love the Bryce Dallas Howard.
That one, everyone, yeah, that one's a lot of fun. And then San Junipero, everyone really likes. I'm with you on San Junipero.
I'm always trying to give her a 1-star, but it's whatever, or whatever it is.
Thank you. I told Bryce Dallas Howard that when I interviewed her at the end of the interview. I was like, oh my gosh, by the way, I really loved you in that Black Mirror episode. And she's like, oh my god, thank you. And I was like,
true story.
no, seriously.
Never mind. It was. I remember. I was about to say I read a report that she was kind of pregnant during that episode, and then I realized it was from the Daily Mail, and I'm like, never mind. I remember I was about to quote it, and then I'm like, oh wait, that's the Daily Mail. Never mind.
Definitely worth watching.
All right, well, so here's a little bit of counter programming. We've talked a little bit about Christmas, and what's really kind of forward-thinking and very unique is Netflix is setting up deals left and right with different showrunners. Jenji Kohan's got a producing deal at Netflix now. Sean Levy, who's the executive producer on Stranger Things, just got one. Shonda Rhimes, yes. And someone that is hitting kind of, she doesn't have to be known for it. She was groomed from How I Met Your Mother, is Gloria Calderon-Collette. And she actually does the Latin, or I would even just say that the remake of One Day at a Time, and it just got picked up for season 2. So what I wanted to do, though, this is really awesome, is I wanted to play you the original from the late 70s, 80s trailer of One Day at a Time. Then I'm gonna play you how they dropped season 2. Here we go.
Awesome. So it's 70s. This is from the 70s?
Yeah, like late 70s, 80s.
Okay. It looks very 70s.
Yeah.
Those
Just pay
outfits.
attention to the things that go on in this.
Oh, those pants.
So this is John Phillips' daughter from the Mamas and Papas.
Oh, I just read that she was. Did you guys read that? Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah. And then this is Eddie Van Halen's ex-wife.
Okay. Oh wow, Valerie Bertinelli.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was married to Eddie Van Halen.
She did a lot of TV
Catchy.
shows in the 80s.
Too many cooks up in here.
There's a lot.
Oh wow. I actually
Is that a
didn't.
self-timer? Yes.
Aw.
So yeah, so developing Norman
Yeah.
Lear, I'm the legendary Norman Lear. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna play you how they dropped the announcement for season 2 of One Day at a Time on Netflix.
Love it. Okay.
Whoa.
Same style.
4-3.
I mean, come on, this is just awesome. You got her falling in the chair. And she's doing the thing see?
It's pretty much shop. Is it shop for shop?
Yeah.
They do it pretty close.
Shop for shop, pants for pants?
Yeah. Of how they,
So they're still trying to make
and so
it.
this is a brother instead of a sister.
Okay.
And they're still wanting it set in the same
Well,
time era,
well,
70s.
It's
Oh
it's
my
updated.
God.
They just
Is
did this
that-
as a kind of a
Yes.
throwback. Rita
Oh,
Moreno.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
And this is Stephen Tobolowsky, who plays the boss, I believe, of Justina Machado.
Okay. Yeah, Chef Chow. Okay, great.
And still Norman Lear. So,
Right.
Gloria, congratulations. I've watched the first season or episodes of the first season and enjoyed them. And I think it's amazing that she has a second season pickup on Netflix. And she's also, I might say, someone might strangle me for this one. She might be the only at the current time Latina woman showrunner.
I
In the business,
I would not.
currently,
I wouldn't
think.
wager a bet against that.
Yeah,
I
You
would.
go, girl.
If you said that with more confidence, none of us would have said anything different. We would have
No,
been like, yeah,
and so
great.
but that's why,
Yep.
and that's why I'm saying it's monumental that Netflix is
great.
really getting to the programming for a lot of people, and it's cool. It's not just a normal remake. This is a remake of a of a Latin family as opposed to a white family, and the mother is a vet.
Yeah.
She's like a war vet that comes
Wow.
back, and she's dealing with all these issues, and there's more up-to-date, complicated storylines that fit the current time now. So But so guys, if you guys have the knack, check it out. I just
Yeah.
always appreciate when people do like a throwback, like what we just saw.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Also, I
That's
had
nice to
never
see.
seen either of those clips before, and I was joking about Too Many Cooks, and then I realized the end, Too Many Cooks, the Adult Swim viral video thing, and it was funny to realize that that's where they actually got the end part of Too Many Cooks, was the Norman Lear show.
I'm not sure that
okay.
I know what you're talking
Me
about
neither.
either.
I don't know
Oh,
what's going
well,
on.
then I'll send you a link. It's surrealism at its best, but it's on Adult Swim and not Netflix.
Why don't you put it in the comments like of this video below so that people who are watching can
Yes.
find it? Okay, so if you guys are looking for it, Steve Kauffman, M-A-N-N, is going to put the comment down below with the link to watch this Adult Swim video.
Many
that
Cooks,
you're talking
yes.
about. Too Many Cooks.
It's the internet. They know what Too Many Cooks is.
Oh, they know?
They know.
Oh,
Okay, well,
cool.
cool.
And then we'll know.
We're just like people, but they are the internet. They know what Too Many Cooks is.
But I did just read today that this article. Did you guys read this about the Mamas and the Papas daughter? Who it's been. I guess this is like old news, so forgive me, but it was very shocking to me. But that she claimed to have she was in an incestuous relationship with John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas.
That's her. It's Mackenzie Phillips.
So Mackenzie Phillips was
Whoa.
this. You know, she
Oh.
accused her father after he passed away of being in an incestuous relationship from the time she was 19 up until she was married, or through her marriage, actually. Excuse me. Sorry to drop that bomb on
Well,
you, but I
there
just
that
read
is.
that this morning, and
This
I
is
don't
news, though. So, yeah.
don't know. It was on E today.
Well, so here's a couple interesting things. Is Sabrina the Teenage Witch who? Well, okay, so Sabrina the Teenage Witch who, people maybe not like even past as old as I am, but like you would remember Melissa Joan Hart on ABC, and then I think the show went to the WB, and she was awesome in it. Netflix is doing it as a 2-season pickup, but I believe it is a animation.
That would actually serve them better.
Interesting.
Like, because speaking as someone who remembers that show fondly from their childhood, I feel like animation would probably suit it better. I have a thing I like to call the Peter Pan effect. That there are things that if I enjoyed it as a child, I won't watch it again. Rugrats falls into that, where I won't watch an episode of Rugrats for
All grown up.
for
It's
fe-
actually pretty good.
but for fear that I won't feel that way, I don't watch things like that. I name it after the Peter Pan ride at Disneyland.
it's gonna be okay.
No, everything's
you can
fine.
still find magic in it.
No, but I would rather remember it magically. But I think an animated version would give a lot more freedom to those characters. Also, the 3-camera sitcom in today's world isn't.
lot more
Actually,
freedom,
actually,
but
I think I was looking at the thumbnails incorrectly, but it's kind of a companion piece to Riverdale, and it's like it has like a dark tone to it. And
Yes.
keep in mind that
Never mind
Sabrina,
then.
Totally.
keep in mind that Sabrina the Teenage Witch came originally. She was a character in the Archie comics, except this particular show is going to be on Netflix. So kind of forget about everything that you ever saw in the Melissa Joan Hart version, which is
So
great for its
beloved.
time as well too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, and I enjoyed watching it back in the day because I think it was part of the TGIF
TGIF,
lineup.
yes, my
So,
favorite
but
block
it's
of
kind of cool
television.
because like, people were talking about whether or not that character would show up on Riverdale, and I think maybe Netflix decided to kind of jump the gun and say, you know what, let's grab the rights and throw it up on our platform as kind of in that same tone, but where they can't maybe, and I don't know, maybe like they'll have a different version of just how the Flash exists on television and in the movies.
It would probably be really difficult if Netflix is making one and the CW is making the
But
other.
you know what
but
I'm
then
saying.
they both
You know
wind
what
up
I'm
on Netflix. But I would, if possible, I would prefer Netflix to make a companion piece that's a companion piece to Riverdale. If only because they get them both. Like, if you 5 years later, if you're on Netflix, they're both on the same platform. If I were Netflix, I would really want, if I could, to meld those two. And I'm sure Netflix is trying, but at the end of the day, if they bought the rights to Sabrina from Riverdale, not to be confused with Sabrina from ABC, who is
I'm confused.
No, there was a Sabrina the Teenage Witch that was in the Archie comics that was spun off pretty much in name only to be the Melissa Joan Hart TGIF show we all know.
So did ABC have the rights to that spin that from the comics?
Kind of, yes.
Or like Melissa Joan Hart. Melissa
in
Joan
name
Hart
only.
and her mother are producers on that, and I believe someone just brought it up. Yeah, brought like up, and then she was just like, "Well, we'll attach ourselves as producers," and then that's kind of how the whole thing kind of got made. And then Melissa Joan Hart was also spinning off of being Clarissa from Clarissa Explains It All from Nickelodeon, so she still kind of had that following of she's
the Disney
She's
crowd.
she's
kid
PG.
crowd.
She's PG.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's PG.
The PG family
and
crowd.
And it grabbed like that audience. It's like I've grown up, but now I'm kind of doing teenage-ish stuff.
Yeah,
so.
and she's a star enough. Like Clarissa proved one thing was that Melissa Joan Hart was a star enough to build a show around. So that was very helpful. That was very helpful, and that's obviously why she was a producer from Jump, which is impressive because she was very young when that show started.
Yeah.
We're kind of all over the place because I don't
We
think
are. We have jumped.
Netflix.
No,
Netflix, but
it's fine. It's fine.
Can we get the Sabrina the Teenage Witch 3-camera sitcom on Netflix if it's not already on there? Because I think that's some good stuff.
I think it's on somewhere else, but
I would love it on Netflix.
I
Yeah.
miss it.
So last but not least, what's interesting about Netflix is they give a lot of their shows at least a 2-season run, or for some reason, I'll say this constantly, it's so weird that it took them a long time to pick up Glow season 2, but they're picking up season 2s like left and right for most shows. One show that did its 2 seasons, and I think it was an experiment, and I don't have the numbers, but Haters Back Off.
Oh.
That has been canceled.
It's been canceled. Yeah.
Officially?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miranda sings, who's, she's talented, Colin Ballinger, but it was canceled, and I'm not sure if, to me, and my idea is that it was an experiment of, can we try to do
Can a YouTuber carry an audience, basically?
using that same character? And I never really thought that would translate well. Although, and then American Vandal's, using a social media influencer, but I don't think it's this particular character from like a YouTube channel.
Right,
Also,
right.
but American Man, I think, and there needs to be something to said about the broader argument of a YouTuber and the type of content that flies on YouTube and in social media, like Vine stars or just somebody who tweets funny stuff, against more traditional media, which Netflix is this go-between, this in-between. But I think American Vandal is a good example of they still did solid filmmaking and storytelling.
Yeah, it was great. And
Like-
but this Miranda Sings wasn't the first YouTuber to have content on Netflix. If we look back to Camp Dakota with that's got Grace Helbig, that's years ago, and she's still.
But I think that was also
humongous.
that wasn't a series though, right?
No,
that
it was
like
it was a feature film. But
right. So like that's what I'm saying. It's a standalone.
she
It's like you have
produced,
like a beginning and an end of like some version of a storyline of anything.
Right. But in terms of using, pulling talent from the YouTube or the social media world, it's not the first time we've seen it. But in an episodic,
like saying like
platform,
can the person carry that same character?
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. We weren't part of that decision
course.
or anything. But just
But
it's something that did happen. So
Did you watch any of the show of that?
no.
Haters
It-
Back Off.
But I love her.
It was tough
I love
to
when
watch.
she does. Miranda Sings has a version of how she does I'm So Fancy
Yeah.
on YouTube, which is hilarious.
Her YouTube videos are great. The show was difficult. It was tricky.
But
It didn't get me.
But some people translate to that form if they understand that that's the form. Issa Rae is another great example in Insecure on HBO of somebody who was good on the web and then jumped to TV and started doing TV. Instead of like, I'm going to do what I did on Vine
Yeah.
on HBO. No one's going to watch that. They're watching HBO.
Yeah.
So you can either translate your thoughts and feelings and your art to what Netflix or HBO will air, or you keep it, or you're more comfortable exactly where you are in your bubble, where you just, you make a video a day and that's your life. And
It's
I think,
very hard to do, by the way.
oh no, it is. It's incredibly difficult, and I admire all the vloggers in the world that can just
Yeah.
live and breathe that type of conciseness. But I do also think that there are some of those vloggers who think that because they can make a video a day that's just them talking, that they can then transition. And I'm not calling Melissa Sings a vlogger by any stretch. Like she does
Miranda
original.
Sings.
Miranda Sings. That like she's doing original. She did original.
exactly.
She did,
And she created a great character.
yeah, she
Absolutely,
created a
yeah.
great character that's original content on a channel on YouTube, but that doesn't always translate into Netflix, especially if Netflix gives her complete control and she just wants to make a bunch of 6-minute episodes. Or once again, I don't think any of us has seen the show to actually speak
I've
to
seen
what
it.
it was. Okay,
Yeah.
was the problem that her character doesn't translate well into that show?
A longer format of
Yeah,
content.
so-
and also it was just weird. It was
too,
just
that,
a
like,
weird show.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because she wasn't intending. Because I think the difference is that Issa Rae was intending on taking whatever she was doing into a bigger series.
Yeah.
Where with for Colleen Ballinger or Miranda Sings, it was just I'm throwing some like just funny stuff up on YouTube, not necessarily like I'm doing this to turn this person into a show.
True.
Right.
And that's a difficult thing. And also, Issa Rae didn't do all that by herself. She's not an auteur by any stretch.
Right.
She had incredible filmmakers and writers behind her from that moment on to like, well, how do we make this a show that's on HBO? And maybe Netflix didn't do that on purpose with this, or they did that and
like I said, an experiment.
It clashed and it didn't work.
Who knows? Not
But there is a very fascinating argument to be made about, because there are a lot of people who come from YouTube who go on to do great stuff, either continually on YouTube just because that's what they want to do and they don't want to report to anybody, or they go into the mainstream and it's definitely a swing for the fence approach.
Yeah, and I mean,
Nobody hits the middle ground there.
Yeah, and we'll keep our eye on it over the course of the series, like over the course of our show, talking about the different filmmakers. You know, like just like I said with like Gloria and with like Sean Levy, and you know, and then like something like this where we have exactly some people, content creators or influencers that don't come from traditional. So, but that's it for this episode. I'm your host Rick Hong. You can find me on all social media at Rick Hong, RICKHONG, and.
Guys, thanks for tuning in today. You can find me online at Ashley on Camera, pretty much everywhere on the internet. Let's talk.
And I'm Steve Kauffman. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kauffman. That is KAUFMANN. You can also go to thesoberyear.com. That is a vlog I'm doing about my sobriety. I just reached 26 weeks of sobriety in spite of there only being like 24 episodes. Thank you, though.
Yay! And I'm Amy Cassandra, and you guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra TV. I will not be here next week, so I will see you guys next year.
That's right,
Yes.
2018. All right. See you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Most
wonderful time.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.